morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Good morning, good morning. And how do you do? Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Good morning. And God loves you. Ooh, ooh. Good morning, y'all. Yes, this is me, Edwina B. Cuckoo for Cocoa Pop still. But God woke me up this morning, accepted me in my little makeup here, like my little mask, celebrating my anniversary of 32 years for the entire week. I don't look like what I've been through. Woo-hoo. So he woke you up this morning. He woke me up this morning for this brand new, awesome day that will never come again and that we've never seen. So make the best of it. And so I'm so glad you're with me this morning because he told you and me to rise. So, on my anniversary week, I do special things, and that's why I'm coming on a little earlier just to give you some of my past experiences and to share my journey with you. To God be all the glory. Thank you to my family, my ancestors, and most importantly, thank you for you. All right, so I'm going to dedicate a song to my mother. And because, listen, I had a praying mother. And because I had a praying mother, I'm going to share a song with you to talk about how my mama, yep, from Shirley Caesar. Okay, let's see. All right. So I'm dedicating this song to my mother. Let's do this right. Y'all just hold on a second. Just hold on. All right. Hold on. Huh? I remember mama. Okay. So this is dedicated to my mommy. Oh, wait a minute. They want me to pay for that one. I can't do that, right? But let's see if I can get a free one. Sometimes it's about cutting angles and cutting things and making sure that we have everything that we need. So let's see. All right, y'all just bear with me, but to God be the glory. On February the 23rd, yes, I celebrated, what? I celebrated 32 years, right? So here we go. Hold on now. Y'all know the commercial comes first, right? All right, here we go.
I remember my mama when I was about 12 years old. I was going to church, playing church. How many of you used to play church? Let me see your hand. Yeah, some of you still play. And I remember I go down Mount Calvary. That's where I belong.
Well, you know what? Let me get. This is a like a live version, and I want to be able to hear the exact words. So y'all just bear with me again. I don't want to do that. So hold on now. It's my anniversary, so I can do what I would like to do. So let's see. Let's go here again because I would just rather have the whole rendition of, let me see. Let's see. Ooh, I remember mama. As a matter of fact, that was one of the songs that we sung at her transition, right? And so let's see if we can get it here. All right. Yes, here we are. Listen to the words. This is my muk muk. Hey, muk muk. Thank you. I remember mama. You put your name ahead of me? make sure that's the right one. This song is dedicated. I remember Mama. Meditate on it. I remember my mama. My mama had 6 beautiful children, raised in an abusive family, administered by her husband, our dad. But Mama loved her children. My mommy was a teenage mother at the age of 15, and my daddy was 17. And by the time he was 24 and she was 22, they had 6 children. Ruby Almira Hall. Yes. Deborah Jean Hall, Edwina Clinton Hall, Carolyn Louise Hall, Edward Clinton Hall Jr., and Henry Hall. Okay, so I'll share more about that at a later time. All right. So now, because it's my anniversary and I can do what I want to do, in the right way, right? So let's take a drink of coffee first. No. This is Alana Brielle Dockery. Say hi. And so she's sharing my TV show with me this morning, and we are going to sit here and we're going to reminisce a little bit. But let me first say, welcome to the Alcoholics Anonymous Daily Reflections reading for February the 26th, right? And it's called No Ordinary Success Story. And so I can't wait to dive into what it has to say. And so as a result, I am going to share with you what it says and what it means, because I do not represent Alcoholics Anonymous, but I've been a proud, grateful, and humble member for 32 years, one day at a time. Yes. And so as a result, I go to my AA meetings every day in one way, shape, form, or fashion, because I've learned through my 32 years what? 1 hour gives me everything I need to live the other 23 hours happy, joyous, and free in spite of. And as Donald Lawrence eloquently says, we are not a natural being having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings living and walking this natural experience here on earth called life. So when we apply the 12 spiritual principles provided by Alcoholics Anonymous, guess what? It's a beautiful, awesome journey from the beginning, the middle, and the end when God calls us home. So let me read it to you first, and then we're going to go to a clip, all right? And then I'll come back and we will embrace, analyze, evaluate the reading for today. All right, so let's plant the seed. Here we go. Now I want y'all to read it together, okay? Because I have other things to show you this morning, all right? So let's go here. Okay, here we go. It says, February the 26th, AA Daily Reflections, no ordinary success story. AA is no success story in the ordinary sense of the word. It is a story of suffering, transmuted under grace into spiritual progress, as Bill sees it, page 35. Upon entering AA, I listened to others talk about the reality of their drinking, loneliness, terror, and pain. As I listened further, I soon heard a description of a very different kind, the reality of sobriety. It is a reality of freedom and happiness, of purpose and direction, and of serenity and peace with God, ourselves, and others. By attending meetings, I am reintroduced to that reality over and over. I see it in the eyes and hear it in the voices of those around me. By working the program, I find the direction and strength with which to make it mine. The joy of AA is that this new reality is available to me. Boy, I cannot wait until we get to that reading so that we can evaluate it and analyze it, embrace it, and use it for just today, right? And so, right now, I want to share a little bit about my introduction when I was invited to share at different symposiums and conferences and was asked to appear on a TV show. So it's a good idea to reflect back to see what you used to look like and how you sound. But guess what? When you tell the truth, it never changes. Okay, so enjoy this 4 minute clip and let me know what you think. Okay, so let's do this. Hi, my name is Edwina Bell from Wilmington, Delaware, originally from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I had an awesome experience attending the Hush Story Symposium and got the opportunity to share my testimony. It changed my life. Being able to be so transparent, so honest, and so real was a healing experience for me. I thank God that I was able to let the ladies know in the audience that I don't look like what I've been through. What you see now is only a manifestation of how and the work I done inside in order for you to see what you see now. But it wasn't always like that. 29 and a half years ago, I didn't have any teeth. So, don't be fooled by the image. Okay. Edwina. Okay, so you're making this different. Oh, wait. All right, so I just wanted to show you that. Look, I'm wait, I'm still transparent. All right, so let's go with this one, okay? All right, here we go.
Good evening and welcome to the Richard Leroy Show. As usual, I'm your host. And before I begin, I'd like to say thank you for watching me because you could be watching anything else, but you're watching me, and I appreciate you for that. I know you guys don't see me a lot. Recently, I've been showing a lot of videos. I've been extremely busy trying to get some things together, but I promise you, starting now, we're gonna get back on track. I'm coming each and every week. But it's good that I show videos sometimes because some people will see those videos for the first time and say, "Oh, I saw your show last week. Man, y'all tore it up bopping." And I'm like, "Yeah, so that was the tape." They was like, "Oh, I was trying to call in. I couldn't call in." So this is a live show. This is Valentine's Day. I have a very special guest that's on my show today. Whenever we have someone from our community, especially a product of Wilmington, that does anything, I'm extremely happy for that person. I'm one who is happy for people's successes. And I think that's sometimes the only way that you can truly be blessed is to be happy for someone else. And we don't have enough of that in our community. We don't have enough of people who are happy. We have more of Joseph's brothers. You know, you tell somebody you have a dream or you have something going on that they're not happy for you. They can't be happy for you, you know, and that's okay. But me personally, I want to take this time out to and thank my guest for coming on to the show, Miss Edwina Bell. We're going to discuss her book, From Crack to Christ, and it's an interesting journey. Edwina, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, fantastic.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you, darling. Thank you.
So, about the book, what inspired you to write this book?
Believe it or not, I want to say first, thank you to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and for waking me up this morning. I usually start off my sharing by saying, "Your grace and your mercy brought me through. I'm living this moment because of you.
Okay.
I want to praise you and thank you too, for it was your grace and your mercy that brought me through."
That sounds like a song. Is that a song?
It is part of a song.
Okay.
As a
Okay.
matter of fact, when my TV show was on Choosing a New Way of Life, that's
Okay.
one of the songs that
Okay.
is played.
Okay.
But oftentimes we can take excerpts from songs and manifest it as a prayer
Right.
in order for the ego and the pride to take the back seat,
Yeah.
and for the Spirit of God to come out and show that we are here because of him, and he wants to use us for a reason. And so I always say that in order to bring the Spirit of God, to the forefront. And your question was, how, what, when, and where. Come this February the 23rd, a couple weeks from now, a few days from now, I'll be celebrating 26 years from drug addiction and mental illness. And one of the things that people in our diseased mindset is that, do we ever recover? Do we ever get better? And one of the things that helped me to get in touch with the process of recovery, because we know there's a process of becoming an alcoholic and a drug addict and a prostitute. There's always a process.
Right.
You just don't wake up one morning and say, I want to be an alcoholic or a drug
Right.
addict, And so as a result of me comparing what I did in my lifetime and into my addiction, me being underneath a parked car, and I have it on here, a parked car almost 26 years ago in the streets of Philadelphia.
Underneath the park car. What you
Underneath a parked car, if he can focus on that. When we're out there in the world and you drink and drug, everybody transforms.
Right.
And what starts out to be a friendly gesture or friendly conversation or a friendly encounter can get ugly real fast.
Right.
And so I and my stepson was getting high and doing all kinds of things during that day and into the early morning. And he proceeded to want to beat me up.
Stepson?
Yeah, my stepson.
Okay.
When the drugs are gone and the favors are gone, it's like you become another individual. So yes, because he happened to be my age at the time. And so running away from him and snatching the keys out the car, you know how as a child we used to seek refuge underneath the bed for safety? When I saw the bottom of a car, I said, Dad, if I get underneath the car, he can't get to me. And that's how I got underneath that car. And so that's where God met me, underneath a parked car almost 26 years ago.
Okay.
And so one of the things while I was underneath that car, my life just flashed before me. How did I get there at 34 years old? The child of a two-parent household, 5 siblings, college bound, successful, the whole 9 yards.
Right.
But how did I get there? And so my life flashed before me, the rapes, the setups, the beat up, the suicide attempts that I tried, and I hollered out to a God that I didn't know. I heard about, but I didn't know. I didn't have a personal relationship with him.
Right.
And I said, take me out this life now or show me a better way. And because he didn't take me out that night or that second, the cops edged me from coming underneath the car, and I went home to my husband, which is his father, and he asked me, Edwina, what you gonna do now? So I got back into recovery again for the last time.
Right. Because it's relapse is
It's not a requirement.
It's not a requirement. It's a
process.
It's a reality.
It is a reality.
Requirement. So
Yeah,
some people
it's
relapse
not a
and then
requirement.
some people don't come back. So sometimes before you get all the way clean. Many.
All right. Well, I'm going to stop it there because there's a lot of interruptions, right? And it's okay. Y'all got the gist of it, right? I was 26 years sober at that time when I did that recording. And so as a result, I just wanted to share with y'all that there are times when I get to share on other platforms and people hear my testimony, and I'm going to start putting my address and no, my address, my email address and my phone number. So in the event that you want someone like myself to come and share our experience, strength, and hope with you, you can do so. As a matter of fact, I may start doing it now. However, let's get back to the real focus of the day, and that is the AA Daily Reflections, No Ordinary Success Story. All right, so now you ready there? Because I'm getting ready to talk, okay? You want to get down? You're going to sit up here with me?
I'm going to sit up here with you.
Okay, then, good. All right, so let's get comfortable. All right, so let's go. You want to lay down? Yeah. Okay, here we go. All right. So you gotta make sure. You got to make sure you give them your undivided attention first, right? So that there be no interruptions, right? You always got to take care of the kids. I tell people, you got to take the minute to make sure they're comfortable so they can do what you would like them to do. All right. So let's dive into the reading today, okay? All right. So here we go. It says here, where are you? Okay, here we go. AA Daily Reflections for February the 26th. No Ordinary Success Story. Let's read it first. AA is no success story in the ordinary sense of the word. It is a story of suffering transmuted under grace into spiritual progress, as Bill sees it, page 35. Upon entering AA, I listened to others talk about the reality of their drinking, loneliness, terror, and pain. As I listened further, I soon heard a description of a very different kind, the reality of sobriety. It is a reality of freedom and happiness, of purpose and direction, and of serenity and peace with God, ourselves, and others. By attending meetings, I am reintroduced to that reality over and over. I see it in the eyes and hear it in the voices of those around me. By working the program, I find the direction and strength with which to make it mine. The joy of AA is that this new reality is available to me. All right. So let's go with the first few words. No ordinary success story. Think about your life, huh? Now, I believe, and I know this for sure, that everybody has a story. Everybody. And it's going to vary because all of us are different and unique in our own way and during the process of our own journey. And so there are no two people exactly alike, even twins or triplets in the sense of the word, because whatever spirit occupies that vessel, that's the spirit that's going to be manifested through that vehicle, okay? And so when you think about no ordinary, it says no ordinary success story. Okay. Now, many of us have heard plenty of success stories going from poor to rich, from up to down. Okay, no ordinary success story. So this right there tells me that, wow, something is about to be revealed to me that's not ordinary in the sense of the word. Okay. So it says AA is no success story in the ordinary sense of the word. See? That's why I'm saying be prepared for things yet to come. So we are telling you that those who participate in the spiritual program of Alcoholics Anonymous, our success is not ordinary in the sense of the word, okay? It goes on to say it is a story of suffering transmuted, transmuted under grace into spiritual progress, right? And this is as Bill sees it, page 35. It is a story of suffering. Don't get honed on suffering, because the word that's important is the word after that, transmuted. Okay? Transmuted what? Under grace. Into what? Spiritual progress. Huh? So let's read it again. AA is no success story in the ordinary sense of the word. It is a story of suffering transmuted under grace into spiritual progress. Just the word into. It's like, that's why this is a spiritual program, because it's telling me that I'm about to embark on a spiritual journey that I've never seen before. Guess what? Through suffering, through pain. Yes. Through humiliation. Yes. Wow. And so when we shared the other day that nothing in God's economy is wasted, everything is used, right? And so when we think about going through the suffering, right? Suffering that's transmuted, but it says under grace. That says that this God that I didn't know, right? That you don't know then, or when you was going through it, right? Existed, or you didn't have a relationship like I didn't. Wow, under grace. Whose grace? The Creator's grace. Oh my God, the Creator's grace, right? Right? And it says into spiritual progress. Spiritual progress. Not spiritual perfection. Spiritual progress. That means take it from an embryo, right? To an infant, right? To a toddler, to an adolescent, to a teen, to a young adult, into spiritual progress. Oh, I love these words, man. All right, so this comes from As Bill Sees It. Get the book, go to that page 35, but more importantly, read the whole chapter, read the whole book. So let's see what this gentleman who's in recovery, what his perspective is. He says, upon entering AA, Okay, let's stop there. I tell you what, listen. Upon entering AA. Now, people will often say they never heard of AA. What does it mean? Alcoholics Anonymous, right? I didn't hear anything or know anything about recovery. And so it's amazing how throughout the years, through two movements, that the Oxford group and the Washingtonians, right, almost had the answer. Stop kicking. Almost had the answer, right? And as a result of them almost having the answer, the information that they were able to accumulate during their process was not wasted, right? And so as a result, Dr. Bob and Bill W. and Carl Jung realized that the medical field, the religious field, which was prompted by the Oxford group, did not work. And so they found out that in a 12-step spiritual program, the miracle, the miraculous encounter of one alcoholic helping another was the basis for recovering from this fatal disease, but one day at a time, right? And so as a result of that, well, and it says upon entering AA. Now, most people will tell you, when the judge sentenced them to go to an AA meeting, when the doctor recommends going to Alcoholics Anonymous meeting, when your family, or when just going to Alcoholics Anonymous, come here, go over there and lay down until I'm finished, okay? Go ahead. Okay, Grandma gonna feed you, okay? All right. I'm gonna give you some pizza and broccoli, okay? And so now, this is how we as human think, right? When we are given the opportunity to face jail time or to get help, right? Most of us want the easier, softer way. Let's get help, right? I don't want to go to jail. Let's get help. Okay. And so the judge or somebody would say, well, instead of going to jail, instead of doing this, we're going to send you to Alcoholics Anonymous so you can deal with your drug and alcohol problem. And in your mind, say, I ain't got a problem. I ain't got a, but you ain't trying to go to jail. So you want to do the easiest, softer way. Right. And so even though contrary to us not wanting to go there, if we reflect back how we even got to the court system, it was a result of drinking, right? And so it's amazing how we justify and rationalize the most outrageous nonsense, right? And so upon entering AA, don't know where we're going, don't know what it's about, heard about, alcoholics. Wow, just the name itself, alcoholics. I'm not an alcoholic, right? That's okay. And so once we get past that, right, and listen to what this gentleman says, right? He says, upon entering AA, I listened to others talk about the reality of their drinking. Wow. Upon entering AA, I listened to others talk about the reality of their drinking. And what did that include, huh? It included loneliness, terror, and pain. So when we look at what our behavior, attitude, ideas, right, actions, were like when we were drinking, did we experience loneliness? Did we experience terror? And did we experience pain? You may not want to admit it, but guess what? Someone in that room is admitting it. They are revealing what they've been trying to conceal. So now who are in Alcoholics Anonymous, we begin to listen to others talk about the reality of their drinking. See, that's what I mean by one alcoholic helping another just by sharing their story, right? All right, so let's continue. He goes on to say, as I listened further, oh my gosh. So when something captures your attention, right? And you be like, either you're going to shut down and like block it out, or you're going to become a little more curious, inquisitive. Let me see what they're talking about. So here he goes. I listened further. Stop the noise. I listened further, right? I soon heard a description of a very different kind, the reality of sobriety. Now, let me give you my perspective. While I was in rehab, I remember people coming into the meetings and bringing an AA meeting, NA meeting, CA meeting, they all use the same spiritual principles. And this particular girl, a woman, who looked like me, right? She began to share her story. And in the beginning, I was like, okay, here go another person sharing their story. All right, okay. But then as she began to share, I was like, and she shared some more, I was like, and she shared some more. I was like, wow, she said that. She did that. She felt like that. That's my story. I did those things. Oh, my goodness. And I was like blown away that she could share those things that she said and did and felt in front of all these people. And then she talked about, as a result of sharing this and getting involved in the 12-step program, this is what is happening in her life. She gets to share it with other people to help them. I was like, wow. And I said, God, if you keep me sober long enough, I want to be able to share just like her. That's why people don't like me too much. I don't sugarcoat nothing anymore, right? And now when I experienced hearing by listening further, I wanted what she had. And if the 12 spiritual principles of Alcoholics Anonymous gave her that opportunity, gave her that experience in order to share with other people, I want some of that. All right. And so hopefully my story can touch just one more. All right. So let's go to the next line. It says the reality of sobriety. See, we know the reality of drinking, and the reality of sobriety kind of eludes us, right? We just like, you mean to think I can't take a drink ever again? I was 34 years old, right? We and they said you can't drink the rest of your life. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm only 34. I gotta get off of something. That's what they call a reservation. And so when I went back into my history doing my fourth step, right? Why was I drinking anyway? Why was I seeking outside substances to deal with inner issues, right? And so as I go to my AA meetings and I hear other people share their experience, strength, and hope, their stories, right? I'll be saying, wow, okay, this is sobriety. They're not drinking. Wow, the reality of sobriety. You can go through that, you can say that, you can feel that, and you're not drinking. Wow. Yes, I want some of that. So listen, I didn't know all that and entail, but guess what? They wasn't drinking, and I didn't want to drink anymore either. All right. So it goes on to say here, it is a reality of freedom and happiness. Sobriety is a reality of freedom and happiness. You know, sometimes I have to compare some, horrific things and tangible things to get a better understanding, right? And so when I think of slavery, and I think of being chained against the wall, your feet, your neck, and all, you have no freedom, right? And you're definitely not happy, right? I think about somebody locked up in prison, right? And you just what, right? You have no freedom, and you're not happy. Now, with Alcoholics Anonymous, we have a different lockup. We have a different prison. Mm-hmm. And that prison that we engage in is one of a spiritual, mental, physical, emotional, right? Level perspective, right? And so when I experience loneliness, pain, and terror, right? So I am imprisoned, right? As a result of drinking alcohol, doing drugs, and doing the associated lifestyles that go with all that, right? It's a self-made prison brought on by my disease of alcoholism unknowingly to me, right? And so now that I've been in recovery 32 years, oh my God, it's unbelievable, right? But when I first came in and I heard that young lady share, I was like, God, you mean to tell me that if I do what she's doing, if I utilize the spiritual principles that she had, God is going to do the same for me? Yes. And so going to these meetings, I hear the freedom from drinking, the freedom from drugging, the freedom from all that chaos, right? And people experienced that freedom, and it made them happy that they were not in bondage anymore from drinking and drugging. Freedom in this recovery process. And that's why for me, the acronym for free is from recovery, emerge empowered. From recovery, emerge empowered, right? And so that freedom creates happiness because number one, I'm not drinking anymore, one day at a time, sometimes 1 minute at a time, right? Now it's been 32 years. And you think I ain't going to my meeting today? Oh, you must be out of your mind, all right? So again, when we think about the reality of sobriety, we're here. And it is the reality of freedom and happiness. And guess what it says? Of purpose and direction. Of purpose. Of purpose. Oh my God, of purpose. Need I see more? Need I say more? This has given me purpose. I have, through this spiritual program, been given my calling. I know why now I had to go through to get through to be on this side to share it with you, right? Purpose. Purpose. Many of us who were drinking and drugging, we what? It just boiled down to getting one more. One more. Ooh, what a waste. But we didn't see it then, right? And then at some point, we couldn't even stop it because of the disease of alcoholism that we didn't know or understand what that was, right? And so now having purpose. So my purpose is what? To stay sober. To stay sober, right? And my direction is to help another alcoholic achieve sobriety, huh? So we're given purpose and direction, and not just in the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous, but to practice these spiritual principles in all our affairs. So of purpose and direction. And here's the kicker, and of serenity and peace with God, ourselves, and others. Oh my God, of serenity and peace with God, ourselves, and with others. When they talked about into, right, spiritual progress, that serenity prayer, when we internalized it, analyzed it, right, evaluated it, conducted surgery on it, oh my God. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. Courage to change the things that I can. And the wisdom, the spiritual wisdom to know the difference. And when I keep practicing saying that, and when I'm faced with things that the flesh wants to do something else, but the spirit said, no, call on me, right? And then I even had to, we learned to associate it with people too. And it says, God, grant me the serenity to accept the people I cannot change. The courage to change the person that I can. And the wisdom to know that that person is me. That gains, that creates serenity, and it creates peace with who? With God, who you called upon, right? Huh? With ourselves, because we begin to see ourselves for who we are, but whose we are. And then that gives us the ability to have serenity and peace when it comes to other people. I ain't letting nobody steal my joy, my peace. Oh, hell to the no. I'm going to say it, right? All right, I got a few more minutes here. It says here, okay, the next thing it says, by attending meetings, I am reintroduced to that reality over and over. And that's why I go to my meetings every day. I see it in the eyes and hear it in the voices of those around me. By working the program, I find the direction and strength with which to make it mine. The joy of AA is that this new reality is available to me. And guess what? It's available to you. Oh, yes. So, no ordinary success story, right? When you hear mine and others before, during, and after journey, you will find a lot of similarities and very few differences, right? And that's okay, because we all have to walk our own path, right? To end up in the same place. Yes. And so today is the 26th. I celebrated my anniversary on the 23rd. I've been wearing my dress since my anniversary. I'm going to wear it again tomorrow. Guess what? During my addiction, I wore clothes, listen, 2, 3, 4 weeks at a time, right? But for a different purpose now, because I need to share with you all that I don't look like what I've been through. And I'm so glad that God saved me. I often share my testimony by opening up with this. Your grace and mercy brought me through. I'm living this moment because of you. I want to praise you and thank you too, for it was your grace and your mercy that brought me through. And I often end by saying, amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found, was blind and now I see. On behalf of my 32nd anniversary, I want to thank my God, my family fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous, and the 12 spiritual principles, traditions, concepts, and steps, and fellowship. Oh my God, what a glorious journey it has been. And I'm looking forward to continuing it, but one day at a time. Okay? So wear your mask, social distancing, get vaccinated, get your booster shot, get your children vaccinated, right? Wash your hands and all that good stuff so that your story won't be an ordinary success story. Okay? So if nobody told you they love you today, I love you. I love you. I love you. You love me. We are one big family with a great big hug and a kiss from me to you. Won't you say you love me too? If it's God's grace that we are reunited again tomorrow, have a blessed and safe day. To God be the glory. No ordinary success story. What's your story? Thank you, Lord. 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 Okay, here we go. All right. One.